In a recent video that I posted all about summer and about how I'm not a huge fan of summer and just some different strategies I was using to try to make it a little bit easier on me, I mentioned that I am creating a capsule of summer recipes, just a small list of go-to easy dinner ideas and meal prep ideas for my family so that I can like not even have to think about it. On nights when it's a like what's for dinner question, I can just go to those easy tried and true recipes. So today I am going to share with you what my summer recipe capsule is, the recipes that I have chosen. I have a variety of meals, everything from just like super fast, easy meals, things that can be eaten hot, things that can be eaten cold, things that can be made in the slow cooker. So let's go. One of the meals in my summer recipe capsule is literally Daniel grills stuff and things. And this can be anything from burgers and dogs to steaks to shrimp. Tonight he is throwing some chicken breast and I think a few smoked sausages onto the grill. And then usually I just kind of look around the kitchen, the pantry, and the fridge for some veggies that I can throw in foil packets, or potatoes do well in foil packets too when they're sliced up. Or maybe I make some homemade picos. We can have chips and salsa, or you know, slice up a watermelon and just kind of round out the meal that way. But tonight I thought that I would go ahead and make up another recipe that is in my summer capsule that I have made many times, and it is from Dinner at the Zoo. I will leave a link in the description box below, but it's for an Orzo salad. And if you're not familiar with Orzo, it is a very tiny little pasta that almost looks like rice. In fact, I have even substituted cooked rice in this pasta salad before, so I guess it's not a pasta salad anymore, but it would be like a gluten-free version, and it works really well. It calls for some cucumbers, for chickpeas, for cherry tomatoes if you have them, and then you make this delicious vinaigrette from just like pantry staples, you know, vinegar and Dijon mustard and olive oil and some seasonings, and toss that all together in a bowl, chill it, and then serve it with some feta cheese. It also is really good with cottage cheese if you wanted to amp up the protein a little bit. But I make this all the time in the summertime. It's just really crisp and cool and refreshing, and I will often make it as a lunch prep and make it as something that my husband and I can enjoy for lunch. Thrive Market is sponsoring today's video, and I don't believe that they sell Orzo pasta on their website, although they have lots of other pastas that I buy all the time and use to make pasta salads in the summer. They do, however, sell a lot of the items that I use to make the dressing for this salad and for other salads. Thrive Market is a way to shop online for your groceries, and you can visit their website or you can use their app. That's actually usually how I make my grocery orders, and they're all about trying to make healthy living affordable for everybody. And healthy living means something different to just about everybody, right? Some people are trying to stay away from gluten. Some people are trying to follow a ketogenic lifestyle. Some people are trying to eat plant-based. Thrive Market makes it really easy to find products that fit just about any lifestyle or eating preference, because you can actually browse their website or their app according to those preferences. You pick out the things you want and they ship it right to your doorstep using carbon neutral shipping, and orders over $49 do ship for free. And they also send it in recyclable packaging, and everything is carefully packaged. Like, I have never had anything damaged or broken. Everything has always come in fantastic shape right to my door. When I placed this order, they were having a sale on kind of like summer essentials. So I got a lot of things for the kids. So I have some applesauce here, some kid-sized Cliff Bars, Thrive Market organic fruit circles, and then these Luna minis in the lemon zest looked really fun, so I thought we'd try those. The individual packages of the cheddar bunnies were an insane deal. They were like half the price that they usually are at like Whole Foods or even at my Walmart. So I stocked up. I bought 3 boxes. Memberships come out to around $5 a month whenever you purchase an annual membership. And right now, when you join Thrive Market, you can get 30% off your entire first order plus a free gift worth up to $60. You can follow the link in the description box down below, or you can go to thrivemarket.com/BINGE patreon.com/cmindymom. Since Daniel grills stuff and things is one of my capsule recipes for the summertime, I picked up some of this Jamaican jerk seasoning from A Dozen Cousins. It's Whole30 approved, if that's something that interests you. I'm really excited to try this out this week. Staying hydrated is a huge thing, especially if we're like outdoors or if we're doing like sports-like activities. So I picked up some of these electrolyte drink mixes. I've been trying different kinds, and this one is specifically like geared towards kids. It's called SOS Kids Drink Electrolyte Mix, and I've heard good things about these element drink mixes, so I'm actually going to try one of these right now. I'm just going to pop it into my water bottle and give it a little sip. Thumbs up to the watermelon salt flavor. Really good. So again, link in the description box, or go to thrivemarket.com/cmindymom and get 30% off your entire first order when you join Thrive Market. And don't forget the popsicles. Of course, I wanted to include a few crock pot recipes in my summer recipe capsule, and I use my slow cookers all year long, but especially in the summer because they don't heat up the kitchen like my oven. But for this capsule of recipes, I wanted to focus in on a few for the slow cooker that are super, super easy, like throw and go recipes, and that are really versatile and can be turned into multiple meals. So I have a couple that are from my friend Carrie at Lazy Day, the crock pot jalapeno popper pulled chicken sandwiches. I printed this out from her website. I made these last year for a video, and I've made them several times since because they're just so easy with a few ingredients and really good, and the leftovers are even good chilled the next day. I also included her recipe for fire roasted Bolognese pasta, and it's basically making like a meat sauce in the slow cooker. And even though like a big old plate of spaghetti might not be what sounds the best all the time in the summer, I wanted to include like a nice hearty pasta meal, and this pasta sauce is really easy and delicious. It's got fire roasted tomatoes and jar marinara, and then ground beef and sausage, but I can use either or. And it's just one of those things that I can go to my pantry and look at the canned goods that I have, or even the fresh tomatoes and fresh veggies that I have in my fridge, and I can kind of throw it all together in the crock pot to make a really delicious pasta sauce and not have to have it simmering on the stove all day long. But another really easy crock pot recipe that I'm throwing into my summer capsule is this crock pot barbecue meatball recipe. And if you know, you know. It's just 3 ingredients: fully cooked meatballs, barbecue sauce, and grape jelly. If you've never heard of that little shortcut throw and go crock pot meal, you're probably like, grape jelly, really? But I'm telling you, my kids gobble these up. And actually, this also works really well with smoked sausage, like little smokies, like little cocktail sausages. Or tonight, I'm actually just chopping up some turkey smoked sausages and tossing them into the crock pot with the barbecue sauce and the grape jelly. I usually cut those 2 ingredients in half because we don't like quite as much sauce on ours, but this works really well just on its own with like some veggies, with a side salad. Sometimes I pull one of my other slow cookers out and I just steam up some rice and serve them on top of that. But it's like a really kid-friendly recipe that just kind of hits the spot every time, and it's not hard to keep these ingredients on hand. Another recipe I thought about throwing into my summer capsule that's a crock pot recipe is pulled pork. And I use a recipe from Kevin and Amanda for a large pork shoulder. I'll leave that recipe linked in the description box below, but it involves brining the pork shoulder for a couple of days and then throwing it into your slow cooker with a homemade spice rub. It's super easy, but you have to be pretty intentional with it because you need to brine the meat ahead of time. So instead of that, I thought I would just hop over here to Aldi because I need to pick up a few things anyway, and into my cart I would throw some of those pre-seasoned pork shoulders, the carnitas that I discovered a couple months back, and I thought I would just put those into my freezer. I can just get 2 or 3 of those, and then when we want something like that, or when I need something like that, I can just pull it out of my freezer, toss it into the crock pot and let it cook up, and we'll have shredded pork shoulder, seasoned pork shoulder for like sandwiches or for quesadillas or nachos or burrito bowls or burrito bowls or tacos or anything else that we might be able to use that kind of meat for. And you know, I won't even have to do like any prep work because it's already prepped. It's just press the easy button. They don't have the carnitas today, only the barbecue one. So I'm just gonna get one of these and throw it into the freezer, but it'll still do for a lot of the same things that I would have used the carnitas for, and I can check my other Aldi for the carnitas when I drop by there. Among other things I am here to pick up today is peanut butter because we're out, and because I want to make a peanut butter pie, my mom's peanut butter pie. and I'll show you how I'm doing that in a little bit. But that, along with the 4-ingredient yogurt pie that I've shown you, are going into my recipe capsule kind of as like bonus recipes, just as really, really easy desserts that are like cold and kind of refreshing and really easy to throw together for the summer. And speaking of summer desserts, I've said it so many times, but I'll say it again in case somebody missed it. The fudge stripe cookies are a s'mores shortcut. All you need are marshmallows. You roast the marshmallows, you put one between 2 of these cookies, and you don't even have to mess with the chocolate bars because the chocolate is already on the cookie and will melt with the marshmallow when you put it on there. You're welcome. My mom's peanut butter pie recipe, and I can't seem to find one that has the same measurements online. I've looked for a recipe that I can link, and I found several that use similar ingredients, but the measurements are off, and I like the way this one turns out. So it's 3 ounces of cream cheese, 3 ounces of cream cheese, and then a teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of peanut butter, and I use my scale to measure that out, 1/3 cup of milk. And I'm gonna mix that together until it's nice and smooth. And now I'm going to gradually mix in 1 cup total of powdered sugar. And I usually add it just a little bit at a time, starting with just sprinkling in from a 1/2 cup. This is basically like Reese's filling right now. This is basically like what's inside of a Reese's peanut butter cup, just a little bit thinner. And now all that's left to do is to fold in 1 8-ounce container of Cool Whip into the peanut butter mixture, and then I just pour that into a prepared graham cracker crust. You could also put it into like a chocolate cookie crust if you wanted. And then I pop it into the freezer. It needs to set up in the freezer for at least a few hours, but this one does better if you let it set up overnight. And just store it in the freezer, take it out and let it thaw for just a few minutes before you serve it. And then it's ready to go. And it just makes this like really delicious, cool pie for the summer. It's a frozen pie, and I don't know, it just really hits the spot. It's a little bit richer than like the yogurt pie that I make, but it's not quite as rich as like a big old bowl of ice cream. I don't know, it's just been a big hit in my family for a long time. We've been making it for years. I wanted there to be some super easy, fast, limited ingredient meals to include on this list for nights like tonight. We are in the middle of a week where both the children and myself are involved in a day camp all week long. It's actually the only week when the children and I are both engaged all day long, and I just don't have a lot of time at home. So I just ran into my local Walmart and I picked up some ingredients for my 3-ingredient crispy chicken wraps. I shared these in a 10-minute dinners video that I put out last month, and I actually timed myself going into the grocery store, and I picked up a bagged salad kit, and I use the salad kit because it comes with everything I need to dress the wraps, and some spinach wraps, and then some chicken tenders from the deli. And it took me less than 6 minutes to grab all of those ingredients. And I gotta tell you, I can't go through a drive-thru and get a meal for my family in that amount of time. It takes longer. Sometimes I will pick up a bag of chips and some fruit to go along with those. I know I already have those things at home. So all I will have to do is chop up the chicken tenders and toss them with the salad ingredients, roll it all up in tortillas, and we'll have a really quick, easy dinner. 2 more meals that fall into a similar category that I chose for my summer capsule will come as no surprise because I have mentioned them before on my channel. They are Italian sandwiches and my Lazy Lady chicken salad. And Italian sandwiches are McKenna's favorite. She would probably eat this every day if I let her, or if I always had the ingredients. And it's just pepperonis, salami, thinly sliced ham, cheese, like provolone cheese, on a loaf of French bread or Italian bread with lettuce and cucumber, and I dress it with some olive oil and vinegar and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And I also have lately been taking those sandwich fixings and putting them onto salads instead. So like I take the proteins, the meat and the cheese, and I'll put it on a bed of lettuce for my husband and myself, and I'll make the sandwich for my kids. And then Lazy Lady chicken salad, I've mentioned this 2-ingredient meal hack so many times, you're probably tired of hearing it, but every single time I mention it, somebody will chime in the comments and say what a great idea it is. So I guess the word hasn't gotten completely out yet, but it's where I take a prepared dip, like an artichoke dip or a ranch dip, like the kind you find in the refrigerated section in the deli, or over near like the sour cream and the cream cheese and the refrigerated section in the grocery store. And then I take a rotisserie chicken and I take the meat off the bone, or I just buy the chicken already like taken off the bone. Like you can buy fully cooked chicken in the grocery store. and I will mix it with the prepared dip, and then I'll just put that onto sandwiches. You could also put it on baked potatoes or wrap it up into tortillas or any number of things. And it's just like a really, really easy meal that goes together in a few minutes with a limited number of ingredients. And we actually just had that specific meal last week when I did a big Sam's Club haul. You will have seen that video already, I think. It's something that I often do on days when I do a big grocery shop, because I can just pick up those ingredients along with the rest of my groceries, and then I don't have to make a big meal or spend a bunch more time in the kitchen when I've already been working in the kitchen, kind of reorganizing and, you know, going out of the house to shop and then coming back to put everything away. It's one of my meals that I will make often on the day when I visit the grocery store. Does anybody else have that meal? Do you have a meal that you're like, this is what I'm making because I'm already tired of thinking about food? Another great thing about these 3 meals specifically is that I think they would work well for traveling. Like if you're going camping or you're traveling in a camper, or you're getting a vacation rental, or maybe you're renting a house on the beach. You don't want to spend a ton of time cooking. You maybe have limited space to store food. You don't want to have something with a lot of leftovers. So you need something with limited ingredients and that doesn't require a lot of specialty stuff. I mean, these recipes, like you can get these ingredients in just about any grocery store in a short amount of time for probably a lot less money than you will spend going to a restaurant or going through a drive-through. So I think they would work well if you are looking for vacation meal ideas also. If you are looking for a few more ideas to help navigate summer in your family kitchen, I have already made a couple of videos along these lines, and you can check those out next.